It was a big day on top of being a long day. It was a big long day. I'm ready for bed just about. Daylight savings time, I never liked that very much when they changed the time. And now it's like, how does it go from getting dark at 9 p.m. to getting dark at like 4:30, 5? Benny is a good boy. Okay, so let's do this. Hi, welcome to my tube. My name's Marge. I'm a Hayoke empath. I just like having these little talks on the way I feel about things. I think it's important to talk about how you feel about things. Makes things less grandiose, I think. Like, I think it takes the power out of troubles and things like that, worries that you have if you say it out loud, if you talk it out with somebody. I don't always have somebody to talk it out with, so welcome to my tube, my tiny little tube. So today was a big day, actually. I've been up since 4 o'clock. I'm super tired. And then I went into town this morning and checked the mail. Saw my buddy Augustine. We went riding around and had a real nice conversation. And I went to a flower shop, had a nice cup of coffee, had a nice conversation. And then I went home, and Susie said, and I was listening, Robert Phoenix was live. And Susie said, Marge, you got to call into Robert's show today. Because sometimes he does that. He'll open up his tube, because he's got a way bigger tube than I do. And he'll invite people to come on and just, talk about who they are. So I took that opportunity. And I was on the way home when I saw it, so I said, okay, as soon as I get home, I'll call in or click on the link, because he was using StreamYard. I have StreamYard on my phone. It was an interface I had yet to use, so there was a little trouble because I couldn't, because of the delay. I was behind him, I think. And when I first initially started it, because I use Safari and it wanted me to use Chrome, so I had a little bit of trouble getting access. And then when I was on with him, I was I was really excited. Somebody said they asked if I had stage fright. I don't think I've got stage fright since I was a little girl and I talk funny. Stage fright? I don't think, I'm pretty versed of being in public, I mean, I used to tell my story. I have my story when I was back in my recovery days. That there was there were meetings sometimes that they would record the speakers. And so I had my talk recorded on 2 different mediums. I'm actually on cassette tape and DVD. So, yeah. That's kind of cool. So, and the one meeting I used to talk in, they had anywhere from 500 people, like 350 to 500 people every week. So stage fright, no. I was just overstimulated because it was like something that I imagined doing for quite some time, and then it actually happened. So that's how people like manifest a new world, by imagining things, and then and then if it's supposed to be for its higher good, these things will come to fruition. And me connecting with Robert today, it opens the possibilities for a great deal of potentials in the future, and I'm pretty excited about that. I was telling my friend I got so excited about it as soon as I got off the stream with him. I didn't even finish watching the rest. I called my Earth Angel. It was like, I was just on with Robert. I was freaking out and stuff, and I was like, I was just on with Robert. I was freaking out and stuff, and I was like, I was just on with Robert. I was freaking out and stuff, and I was like, I was just on with Robert. I was freaking out and stuff, and I was like, I was just on with Robert. I was freaking out and stuff, and I was like, I was just on with Robert. I was freaking out and stuff, and I was like, I was just on with Robert. I was freaking out and stuff, and I was like, I was just on with Robert. I was freaking out and stuff, and I was like, I was just on with Robert. I was freaking out and stuff, and I was like, I was just on with Robert. I was freaking out and stuff, and I was like, I was just on with Robert. I was freaking out and stuff, and I was like, I was just on with Robert. I was freaking out and stuff, and I was like, I was just on with Robert. I was freaking out and stuff, and I was like, I was just on with Robert. I was freaking out and stuff, and I was like, I was just on with Robert. I was freaking out and stuff, and I was like, I was just on with Robert. I was freaking out and stuff, and I was like, I was So she went back later and watched it for me. Made sure I didn't make didn't say anything too asinine. uh, anyway, and then what else happened today? Had some pretty. Oh, I went and stopped at this restaurant that I haven't been to in quite some time. It's a local restaurant here. It's called the Golden Pinion. And I went about 2:30, 2 o'clock this afternoon, and it closes at 3:30. And on the weekends, it's known for its brunch, and that place gets slammed. So what I do is I like to go in the non-peak hours when it's slow. And I picked a great time because I had such a nice conversation with the two young women that work there. It was really cool. And then I was showing and then Jaime, the chef, came out. We had a nice, pleasant exchange. I did a nice little write-up, little review on Taos Review and the local restaurant page that they have. They're way better in Midtown Market. And then I was telling Jaime, the chef, about my favorite restaurant in Omaha. And then I showed up, I looked up, I was showing him the restaurant, and I looked it up online, and I just saw that Block 16 in Omaha was just, they just did an episode of DDD, Triple D. The diners, drive-ins, and dives, and whatever it's called. And, here is their post, because I haven't looked. I look them up every now and again. Life gets busy, you know, and they were right up the street from where I work, so I would go after the lunch route. I'd call in at because they close at 2, and I'd call in at 1, or they close in at 1, and I'd call in at they close at 2, and I'd call in at after 1, after it would completely die. But this place has freaking lines out the door, for days, the waits. And here's just a little example of their food. So if you ever go to Omaha, what's that from? If you ever make it to Omaha, it's on Farnham Street. So that's one of the burgers. Where is that coming from? I don't even know. That's trippy. I don't understand what it's reflecting, because it's not. There's nothing on the screen that it can see. That's weird. Anyway, I'll just read it. So that's the picture. And Jess, she's the wife. I've known Paul, the husband. I met him when he worked at a place called Confluence in Bellevue. It was a bookstore, deli type place. And then he and Jessica opened this place. I think it's been open 13 years now. Anyway, cat's out of the never really sealed that well bag. Yes, we're going to be on DDD. It was a crazy whirlwind experience, thanks to all of you, our amazing staff and folks that secretly came out for filming. DVR it or watch one of the million reruns. Tonight, come eat this Philly cheesesteak burger. You know what to do. Get down here is what they usually say, but she wrote, come see us. I like get down here better. She's from Canada and he's from New York, I believe, or it's vice versa. They have a lot of really good stuff there, and I encourage people, like if you fly in and have an hour freaking layover or something like that, put in a freaking order and have them DoorDash or whatever to the airport. I bet they would. I want to see if they would have a thing like a promotion ever, that the not so large Marge discount. Because I'm trying to compensate for Pee Wee Herman that made high school very difficult for me. because I was kind of large and my name's Marge. And so I thought, how but better way to turn that around than, be a proponent and an advocate for health and fitness and stuff like that, and then recommend places, and then, have codes, discount codes of my own. The not so large Marge, tell them not so large Marge sent you. Maybe get some onion rings or something thrown in, kind of thing. I believe cooperation is nature's way, and that we can do a great deal of good on the whole entire earth, and just putting our goodness in pockets of our own community. When I was at the restaurant today getting lunch, early dinner, late lunch for me and Mom, one of the hostesses that I had or waitresses that I had the opportunity to talk with, she's a Gemini, and her husband's Aquarius, and they're young, like in their 20s, like young, right? Because I'm in Generation X, whatever generation. I'm focused on the people that are behind me, because the people in front of me clearly didn't give a crap about a piss what kind of earth we're leaving to them. Because if they did, the world would not be in the condition that it is and headed towards the trajectory that it is. You okay, girl, boy, Marty Pants? And so, because we're at such a point of self-will when riot, and people are going to learn their lessons. I learned my lessons about, the consequences of indulgence. And more people are. I'm seeing it. I'm seeing people. Here's another group, or a lady in town. I haven't met her personally yet. I will. It's close. We've messaged. She has a gym here in town, and she does online training. And I found out today, Benny Luna's up there, that she trains people in South Carolina and stuff like that, and I'm like, that would be another avenue, because this is a woman that a while back, I wanted to reach out to her, because a woman I know from Omaha, she lost her young son, and in order to process through the pain, which she's not through it. She will never resolve the pain of losing Jagger. She won't. She knows what to do. She has tools in how to process her pain. And so she turned to the gym, and I wanted to reach out to this woman, Julia, to do some sort of a maybe a memorandum, for the anniversary, all of the calories burned collectively, would be lifts for Jagger, or raid, something collaborative like that, right? And maybe that'll happen, maybe it won't, and the reason why that I feel the significance to bring these two women together is because Julia just recently had her own trauma in her own life, where she lost the people that raised her in a terrible house fire, and their little dog. And so healing and processing in healthy ways, it's what's gotten me through life. It's what's gotten me, instead of freaking choosing negative alternatives and just trying to drive. I drank for a number of years, 13 years I drank how I wanted to, like an alcoholic, and that got me a couple DUIs. It burned a lot of bridges as far as relationships. It did a lot of damage, and I see how that affects people, and not just, it affects people that don't even drink alcohol. Like, if you know somebody that drinks like I used to drink, and just having to deal with the disappointment of freaking people just not even doing what they say, because they can't, and half the time they don't even remember that they said they were going to do that thing, and then you're thinking like, okay, great, this person's going to show up for me, but they were in a blackout and did it. Okay, instant resentment, here you go, right? And so I know the consequences of what happens when people choose to replace good orderly direction, doing the right thing. If you say you're going to do something, do it, with the ego easing God out. God, good orderly direction. It's oh so simple. I just solve the earth's problems, Mom. Don't you worry about things, sweet little lady. I've imagined ever since, that's all I ever did, because I've always been such a lonely kid and stuff like that. And I grew up, and I have Mom. She don't always like talking about the same stuff that I talk about. Oftentimes she'll just smile and nod and go, moving along, moving on, But I actually feel like things are opening up now. Because when I was at the restaurant today and I was talking to that woman, and she was telling me she's a Gemini and her husband's Aquarius, and her little sweet boy that is born January 28th. So the baby's boy, he's gonna be an Aquarius too. I say, you know what? We're just into the age of Aquarius. I say, kids like your son, I would love to be around kids like the spirit in which is going to be incarnated through the age of the babies that are being born now. They're going to be remarkable. I said, I'm here to teach all the other grown-ass adults that are, so I ever hear people say that, are you, I'm a grown-ass man, or I'm grown-ass. Okay, you're so grown-ass. How come the world is so shitty as it is? What has your grown-ass done to contribute? I'm loving seeing the things change, though. Things are changing. Like, the world is, it's evolving at such an expeditious rate. It's just so fast. It's rapid fire, right? When freaking Snoop Dogg is quitting weed, it's a new earth. When you wake up and homeboy, I know that I'll be, one day, I hope to get to a place physically that I can manage the pain, that I don't have to do my cookies or cannabis or anything like that anymore, that I can just sustain myself on teas and stuff like that. And so I'll probably be cannabis free one day myself, because you do things until they just don't serve you anymore. But homeboy, he was smoking up to like 150 joints a day. I could smoke one joint and it lasts me all day. So maybe it's good, but the homeboy's quitting. And then I also saw that dude, that Sean Puffy Combs guy. That guy has been a scumbag ever since. I used to, because I listened to Tupac and stuff like that in high school. I listened to all kinds of stuff, Today I was going back listening to like Sir Mix-a-Lot and stuff like that, and I listened to a lot of different kinds of stuff. So, Benny, stop. You went outside already, didn't you? Already went. Tucker went. Maybe I didn't. They tricked me. Does this, he distracts me. And so but Sean Puffy Combs, I never liked that guy. I never liked that P. Diddy. And then, like, throughout the years you hear stories, about just different stuff, not even related to him, but related to him too. But how things are. There's so much dirty, gross stuff that happens on the planet just out of control, the name of control and power. Like, I'll never forget that interview with that woman that she was talking about, like, him doing dudes in the music industry just to be like, yeah, I was your dad, I was dominant over you, because, he was ramming some dude in his butt, so of course he's gonna think he's his daddy, it's just all weird stuff. And now he got brought up on charges, and I'm happy to see it. I keep waiting for the guy, I've heard more stories off the media in real life from like people that have traveled around. That dude that was on. That guy's smart though, so he's I don't know, but even the smart ones got to get caught. See, the truth always comes out. The truth is a vibrational frequency, and it comes out, and people can go through a great deal of lengths to put it off and cover it up. Uh, if something is supposed to be, come out, it will come out. And that dude, man, that what's it? The lead singer for Tool. I saw Tool at the Mid America Center. That's the same place I saw. Uh, I used to go to a lot of concerts. Now I'm a little bit more careful with the energy field in the places that I go. With large groups, and it's just not the same world that it used to be. And you get somebody with the resentment, maybe I'll go again one day. But Mid America Center, see, I always looked at places like that is like I don't know, energy harvesting centers. Like all of these people that are collectively going to these concerts, that's like, think about how much energy people put into leaving their house. They get in their car. Some people drive a couple hours one way. They get there, they're drinking, whatever the case may be. I mean, that's a lot of effort to put in there someplace. I left early for Tool. I didn't even stick around. Like, I was like, nah. I just, I did, that's how I am. I do everything by feel, and if things don't feel good, I ain't down to it. And I know that dude's done, so he just, yeah. So maybe the stories will come out for him. My point is the truths are coming out, and it's only going to happen more. And more, like, people are going to be seen for who they are. And I really dig how people are saying, okay, now look how they're setting it up. They're setting up the chess pieces to be like, oh, look, Newsom and frickin' is so great with China, and they're all, what is it? I know people that live in California. Why didn't people go there and be like, why are you here? We don't want you here. We don't need you here. We have a problem with other countries buying up American land. It's an issue. I mean, and it's known. Like, the storyline is out there, cliff high. All of these, they're all talking about it. The Khazarian freaking mafia or whatever, and it's all the club. It's all clubs wherever there's groups. Even my brother is a fraternity. It drives me crazy. I went to one fraternity party. I was 16 years old. And he was 18, he was 19, something like that. And it just, like, you had to go downstairs, and then they had, like, it was the dirt basement, and that's where they were all drinking and just doing their chants and stuff. And to get initiated into those, you gotta do, you have to do something that is questionable of character. And then they go on their whole lives trying to establish what great character they have. All the while, their foundation is something based on questionable character. And oftentimes it's recorded. And this was 1989, 1990. And so the place he lives in now, it's like he got the in because of a fraternity brother. You know what I mean? It's like somebody else could have been better suited for the place, but it doesn't matter. That's how jobs are gotten too. It has nothing to do. I worked so hard to establish my credentials and build my resume and to be a productive member of society, only to find out none of it mattered because I'm not going to play the game the way the people that want the game to be played want me to play it. I won't do it. And I'm going to question everything. And I'm just not somebody. I remember when I was having a hard time in Oregon back in 2017. Go lie down. Go lie down. Go lie down. Go. I'm not going to listen to you whine. And so, what was I talking about? That's why I don't like it when he gets annoying, because my train of thought derails. And I can't just freaking ignore him. And it's just, he's just annoying sometimes. God. I can't remember what I was saying, and I was on a roll. Now I'm mad. Now I'm angry. Shake it off. It's not a big deal. Like, it's gone. Like, I don't even know what I was talking about. Thanks, Benny. Dickhead. I don't know what I was talking about. Must not have been that important. So what I'm getting, I'll just change gears. So what I've been listening, today I didn't listen to as much astrology as I usually listen to because I was busy. What I'm getting is that we just really need, either we're going to learn how, we're going to find tools and use them, because it seems like for a while it's just going to get more and more crappy. And so either people are going to have tools on how to freaking handle their emotions and not get upset about stuff, or they're just more and more people are going to lose their shit. Good girl. You're a good girl. So it's going to be more about emotional control. And that's what I was talking about. I was talking about the clubs. Is the clubs, and how people aren't being hired because of their experience. They get hired because they're somebody's cousin or somebody's nephew or some. Nepotism has never worked in my favor. Never in my life. My brother, he could have helped me and Mom find a place to live in California in a heartbeat. That guy is so connective. Like his office, the office of parole, they write, it's what's so funny. It's like these are what grown up adults. They pride themselves in that his office wrote a letter. He's a lawyer. He works for the office of parole, makes $165,000 a year. He told me Mom is my problem and that I take care of her. That's what he said to me when I went to him and I said, I need help. Would you help me find a place to live for me and Mom? He said no. And that's how we ended up in Taos. But yeah, and he laughs. He thinks it's funny that not a lot of people have done me a lot of favors in life. I mean, it's just really kind of sadistic and weird. But he's a fraternity brother, and he sacrificed me and Mom for his good life because he doesn't want the world to know, who he is. They just want him to. And it, like, you ask him, people don't even know that he has a sister, or he does. Like, he doesn't. Like, why doesn't his wife think it's weird that he never talks about that whole part? It's because he doesn't want everybody that thinks he's a really great guy to know what a monster he really is. He's abusive and he beat my ass after he was in basic training for the guard. It was, I mean, but still, I mean, a program's the program. I think it's the same basic training as Army, but it's just you go a different route, you know? And he's done the whole gaslighting thing, but that's what his, like, he's renowned. He's not proud of, you know, helping his family and being a good brother and sister and or son and stuff like that. He's proud that his office wrote a letter and that letter went to the governor's office, and then the governor read the letter. I'm like, what are you, junior high freaking girls? What the freaking passing notes? This is what career aspirations have come to. Congratulations. You must be very proud. You know? I will forever be asking what did they do with the people in San Francisco? I mean, that is the biggest pony show, man. That is why I hate politics, and it's all a reindeer game. It's all made up reindeer games. Because it's like, dude, there is enough on this planet for everybody. So the fact that they have the population of destitute people is because the egomaniacal, twisted weirdos want it that way. And they get that. I used to go to, there's this guy, his name was Clancy Ismail, something like that. And he had Clancy Ishmael. I could probably, it's probably close to Ishmael, huh? I don't know what it is. But he had I met the man. He was peculiar. He was an old man, like in his 80s, and he would see young girls and go, ah! Like that, and I just creeped me the fuck out. I'm like, dude, this guy's supposed to be a spiritual mentor for what kind of spirit? Anyway, he had a mission right down there in the heart of Skid Row, and the dude was probably a millionaire. Because because he just because they get allocated so much funds, and then they get grants and all this millions and millions of dollars to take care of the people, and then they spend next to as close to nothing as they possibly can to actually take care of the people. It's what I call when people get paid to say we care but don't really actually care. It's a profit. It's all money. It's all to make money. It's all business. People don't go into business to help people, I've found. They go into business to make money. You can help people. Ever since I was a little girl, I see how much companies would make, and they never raise their prices, or like never lower their prices, or never, like, there's one dog food company I know of that if you buy 12 bags or 11 bags, you get the 12 free. Why don't more companies do that? You know, tires. You know, buy 4 sets of tires, get the 5th one free. You know, there's all kinds of way businesses could get back to the community. They're just like, no, we don't do that. It's all about money. If I just keep imagining cooperation is nature's way, and because this is what I see. I'm going to slowly put things out here, because I want to have a really big 50th birthday party in April, and it's I'm going to turn 50 the day after that eclipse on April 8th. My party still probably won't be until April 13th, that Sunday. I'm going to have it at a park. I'm inviting everybody within earshot. I'm going to invite the whole town. I know the whole town won't get wind of it. The whole town isn't going to show up. What I will do is I will plan to feed somewhere around 500 to 1,000 people. But then I want to have local restaurants, you know, in the community. If they want to come out and serve their food, you know, if they want to come out and sell their food, come on out, you know. I was going to have that Allie lady from Allie's a la Cartes come and cater it, but she just blew me off and turned into some freaking, I don't know, snob or something. And I don't understand how people, like, whatever. So, okay. And yeah, she was on diners and dives and drive-ins too. But she's not invited to my birthday party because could have been cool but wasn't. Just like Midtown Market. So, so I'm gonna I'm gonna I'm gonna just tell people all over, if ever you want to come to New Mexico, this could be a time to do it. I'm gonna invite Paul and Jessica and their family down because there's places for people to stay all over the place, and I'm gonna have my own event and see how I'm gonna invite Robert and his lovely Joan, and if his mom wants to come too, so be it. Whatever. But I'm going to invite all these people that have been significant in my life, whether I've met them or not. Invite all kinds of people from Omaha, invite people from California. So there's a couple people that I know from California that I already told about it. And then like after the first of the year, I'll freaking make an event. I'll make an event and I'll put it out there and just to get a head count, you know? I think it would be cool if like people that I became friends with that I now communicate on my phone instead of chats, if they came and that I got to meet them in real life. I think that would be cool too. Because I believe in connections and heart connecting people, you know, in a really human way. We got to get back to our grassroots. People are becoming inhumane. They're forgetting what it's like to freaking genuinely care about other human beings. And that's what this whole experience, crazy life, is all about. But I feel pretty good about today. I had a really nice day. I love going to places. I mean, I went to the grocery store and I just have like the sweet little lady at the checkout, you know, was nodding her head and just laughing at me and just in agreement and at the flower shop, you know, the young women, because I listen to what the young people want and how they want the world, and they don't want it much different than I do, you know. The one lady today, she was talking about like she loves her grandpa. It's like she don't have time to listen to his, and I said, but his because I live where I live, it's just like it's no different than the places I grew up where because I grew up in an era where the men were right. The men, you listen, the women didn't talk. The kids weren't addressed. You didn't talk, kids. Kids were seen and not heard, you know. The men, the women were just stay in your place, cook the food, do the laundry, and don't gripe and complain, right? And keep bringing me my beers, stuff like that, you know. And then the man, but the thing of it is, then I was born. And I would be in situations, and like people would be like, you know, like, and mom would be like, I do this because I said so. And I mean, from a very young age, I started questioning everything. But why? Well, why can't I do that? And often, like, if I saw a reason and people explained to me that what I was doing was not safe and I could get hurt or somebody else could get hurt, that made sense. But if somebody had me modified my behavior just because they felt like it, I take issue to that. That I have a problem with. And as I grew up and have grown up in the world, I see where there's different rules for different situations, and how some people get to go to the front of the line, and how some people have to wait 2-3 times as long, and that with all the rules, regulations, policies, and procedures, there are all sorts of different scripts for different people. And so I'd show up in circumstances and people make me wait and put me in my place, and I'd be like, well, why can't, you know, I go in the front, you know, like them? Oh, well, you don't qualify. Well, what do I need to go up front? Well, you need these things. Well, I have all those things. Power plays. The world is being run on power plays, and there's not really a whole lot of room for the freaking people that are just trying to do right. So now the shift is coming back into play. It's coming back around, man. It's coming back around. What goes around, Robert, God bless you. I love how you say, I got 2 shocks this weekend. One of them when Robert said, what did he say? And I was like, I can't believe no. Really? I can't believe that. I can't remember it. But the other one was when Cliff High, I heard him do a talk. And I had to go back and listen to it again. Like, did I hear him right? He's of the belief, because I believe that there's a reality, and I believe in a there's a universe for every perception of reality, right? So Cliff High, his universe is all built on in his reality, right? That's how I see it. And he's like, if you were born a female, then you've always been a female. And if you've been born a male, you've always, in every incarnation, you've been a male. And I beg to differ. I believe that is where a lot of the transgender stuff comes from. Based on my own personal experience, that when I was a young girl, I wanted to be a little... in my mind, I was a little boy, and it confused me that when I looked down, I had girl parts. And what I have come to the realization, to the belief, and I believe this because this is my reality, and it's true for me, is that I had been male after male after male, and then something happened, and in my last life, I died as a young, like in my 20s or 30s. I know it was a freak accident. I choked. I second guessed myself. I hesitated, and it cost me my life. Like, I think I was doing backflips or something, broke my neck, something like that. Because when I came into this world, I came in trying to do I wandered off. I always went to nature. And so my soul didn't know I left and then came in as a female. Because we get both sides of the coins. For all of the heinous things I've done in previous incarnation, that was wiped clean when I was 10 months old in this lifetime. So boom. And then now I get to... There's a movie called Switch with Ellen Arkin that I watched in the early 90s. And that's kind of how it feels to me. It's they had a lot of those movies, you know, where they... like Freaky Friday, where the switches consciousness and stuff like that, you know. But I can't remember what Robert, and I was like, really? In Universe Robert? That's how it is. I know that there's a lot of things that happen in Marge's universe that people are like, well, okay. The thing of it is my belief systems that are based on the least common denominator factors in life. And that's because there are a lot of people in this world, I'm coming to find out, like, if I were to ask them, like, what's the scariest thing that's ever happened to you, you know? I mean, I've heard a lot. I mean, granted, I'm not taking away from it. The stuff that they have had oh yeah, shit, that sucks. That's scary, you know, that's awful. There's just a lot more people that have had these insane, crazy stories that have unfolded in their lives. And I was talking a little bit on Robert's show today. I was trying to express, I said, you know, we got to be, people that have had these insane things happen, we got to be able to talk about it. If anything, so other people can know that who's doing this stuff. The people that are doing this stuff, it's everyday's uncles, brothers, sisters, it's all, and it's not just males, it's females too. It's a vibrational frequency. It's they like to take the essence. 'Cause oftentimes, and especially if they mess with you sexually, that like does things to people. It makes them sad for the rest of their life. If people don't know how to properly, it has nothing to, things that have happened to me, it had nothing to do with me. Nothing to do with me. One time I got sexually abused by the neighbor kids, and my brother didn't say anything, and I spoke up, and he wouldn't. See, he's always been the freaking hider, the counter. Like, he doesn't want to deal. Like, if people don't believe that this stuff happens, then in reality it happened. No, this stuff happens. It happens every day. It happens all the time. People gotta, first of all, they gotta talk about it, because the more they talk about it, they can feel better about it, feel open about sharing about it, and then we can, the people that have happened to, we can put together programs on how to teach other people how to determine who these predators are. As if they don't know, but you know, a lot of times people have to be shown. So there's education in it. There's education. There's teaching opportunities in there. I feel pretty good about the world changing, Ma. It's starting to look positive. It's just gonna get nasty, and people are just gonna see stuff that they don't want to see, and it's like people are tripping. Like, people are tripping. Like, I relinquish. Where I live. After I moved in, the girl next door is the landlady's daughter. This place is just so proper. It fucking cracks me up. And she and her boyfriend, like, they hardly ever come out. And I think they're up all night and they, you know, party and drink and then sleep all. I don't know. I never see them. And, like, I look out the window today because Tucker started barking. I went to meditate, try to clear my energy field, degauze myself a little bit because I was a little excited after all the excitement of the day. And Tucker starts barking. I look out the window and they got a snowblower. They got a snowblower in the front yard, and she's perceived. I take the dogs out tonight, right? Thank goodness, where I live in northern New Mexico, people have energy spurts out of about 20 minutes. So, like, if there's kids outside playing and I gotta take the dogs, or they're working in the garden, or they're working, if anybody's outside, usually all I gotta do is wait 20 minutes and they'll clear out. Like, so, waited for it. I go out, let the dogs out. She blew 2/3 of the yard and left a third in front of where she had leaves blown up around my trash can, and I'm thinking to myself, is she leaving it like she did her part of the yard and then the rest is mine? Because I relinquished control of the yard when she moved in, when she got out of jail, and wanted to plant flowers, which she planted, and then she could not really figure out the whole watering thing. I mean, this is why I say, I mean, like, there's partying and stuff like that, but when people do it from the time they're 18 and when they're doing it when they're in their 30s and they're still doing it, that kills your brain cells. It kills your brain cells. It makes, so I don't know if, like, that is a situation. I'm not doing anything to the front yard. I'll leave the leaves all freaking winter. And then in spring, whatever's left over, I'll rake them up. I'm not gonna, you know, but it's just, people really trip me out. They can't. Every week I tell my friend, I say, you want to know what happened with the garbage this week? Because they, like, it's right there. I put my garbage out at Monday at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Garbage day is Tuesday. So I'm giving them hints. Right? They kept their garbage can right there in front of my fence. they have to push it like 5 feet. It's like 5 feet. I've considered doing it for him. I do believe that people need to be self-supporting in as many ways as they possibly can. And to be able to get your garbage to the street on garbage day is a good indicator that you're a grown-up. Your parents did a pretty okay job on you. So then her brother, he's sober these days, so we're just going to be grateful for that. He's been quiet for the last couple, since my window got busted out. He's been laying low. He lives on the duplex on the other side. So he decided, well, shit, my sister can't frickin' seem to get the garbage out, so I'll take the garbage. I'll take it and put it on my side. And then last week, they couldn't get the garbage out to the street, but they still put extra bags on top of mine. Isn't that funny? Every week it's something different. And then it's like, I don't know. It's hilarity. It's comedy, man. It's pretty entertaining, huh, Ma? You have a good day, Ma? You had a good day? I've been up since 4. I'm so tired. Mom lays down. As soon as I'm going to wrap this top up, we're going to go brush teeth. We're going to hang out for another half hour or so. And then lay down. I could not sleep in the middle of the night, you know it. Maybe next time I don't sleep in the middle of the night, I'm going to just get up and do a live. I'm going to try that. How's that sound, Ma? Yeah? So, all in all, today was a pretty... Oh, my buddy Augustine gave me a new pocket knife. Because I haven't seen the other pocket knife that he gave me ever since I went to Del Norte, Colorado. So I'm kind of excited about it because I use them all the time. They're so handy. And now that there's so many freaking wackadoos with guns, I mean, I have been doing survival stuff since I was a little girl. So, I mean, I was telling my father figure, Mr. Iski. He's the first friend I made when I got stationed at Offutt Air Force Base. He was civilian. He supported all the heaters. And I said, you know, I could ruin somebody's day. I was telling him the other day because he likes guns and he buys a lot of guns. And he lives in Nebraska. There's firing ranges, outdoor fire, and he'd go down there with his buddies and they have competitions on who gets the best shot. I was marksman. I missed getting my expert ribbon by one. But I got marksman. I mean, I'm good with what I aim, and I was telling him, I said, I'm holding off. I don't want to get a gun. Live by the sword, die by the sword. It's getting so dangerous out there, you know. I think the important thing to do is just to rely on my instincts and my OPSEC training, you know. Because they used to have training. Mr. Iski went through this one. I didn't. Because it's like you could pick and choose which stuff you wanted. I didn't know about this one, but it was like the terrorist threat training type thing, and that they would put you through simulations and scenarios, and and then you would get out of them. You would talk about how you get out of them, and somebody said, like, okay, you're in a room, somebody's a threat, what are you going to do? And Mr. Iski, like, looks around, and he's like, well, I'd grab that freaking fire extinguisher over there, and I'd freaking grab it off the wall, and I'd blow it in his face because he can't see, and that can kill a person. If you just do a fire extinguisher in somebody's face and not stop that and just keep going and they're trying to breathe, they will die. So yeah, so I've been into, like, and survival stuff, like, and then growing up watching movies, I was 9 years old when the first Terminator came out. Mom always had boyfriends like John Connor, and then I grew up to be kind of a Sarah Connor, you know. It's like I just have been picking up ways to survive my whole life, and it hasn't been easy. I mean, if it was just me, it would be freaking easy as pie. Trying to survive in the world as crazy as it's getting, with like, you know, trying to keep my mom and old dogs just comfortable without like having them be too much impacted by the world, hasn't been easy. It hasn't. It's always worth it. It's buying off for now.